another type of tissues which we are going to study today is special tissue. It is also called as secretory tissue. Now, what are secretory tissue, or it is also we can also call, instead of tissues, we can also call as structures. What are the special tissues, or what are the secretory tissues, or what are the secretory structures as per your syllabus? Now, what are secretory tissues? Why the name is given secretory tissue? Because in some cells of the plants there are some substances which are there are some byproducts which are being excreted out from the plant, which are not necessary. In some plants, in plants there are some byproducts which are not essential to the plant body. We can say they are in excess to the plant body, which may cause harm to the plant body. So what the plant material do? The byproducts are the elements like tannins or tannin related compounds which are which are in the plants, which are not required to the plant actually for the functioning. So it will try to excrete it out. The excretion of all the unnecessary material present in the plant body, which may cause a harmful effect to the plant body, are called or excreted out, and those excretion and secretion process is done by special types of tissues. Those are called as secretory tissues or secretory structures. So basically the secretory structure or secretory tissue involves two definitions or phenomena. Those are called as excretion or secretion. Now, what is excretion and secretion? Here, these unnecessary plant byproducts which are in the plants are eliminated out, or we can call it as excreted out. Now, what are the excreted elements here? It may be tannins, or it may be various components or tannin related compounds. Can be cited as an example for the excretion of the material from the plant body. Now, where do we get the excretion of this? We are telling that the plant material is excreting out the unnecessary material from the plant body. Now, from where does it excrete? The excretion process is occurring from the protoplasm of the cells. Whatever elements are there, the elimination of the byproducts from the protoplasm of the cell is called as in the form of secretion. What is secretion here? The total process involved in the elimination of the byproducts from the protoplasm of the particular cell of a plant, which is not required for the plant, is occurring by a term called as secretion. Okay, so here the words more or less elimination and excretion and secretion are more or less same function. The clarity between the two words is not clear, but the basic idea behind this is the unnecessary material which is in the body of a plant is not required, it is overdosed, then that is removed. That is the basic idea. So what is either it is excretion or secretion? It is removal of non-essential amino acids, non-essential substances which are present in the plant body. Removal of non-essential substances is the basic idea behind the secretory structures. When secretory structures are there, the occurrence of the structure will show the multiple variation from the place where they are originating. There may be an origin of secretory tissues from the external side, or there may be an origin of tissue from internal. So there may be internal side of the plant body or from the external plant body. Now here they may exist as an outer glandular hairs or glandular tissues. They may also exist as you can say in case of some intercellular spaces. These, when we talk about intercellular spaces, in between the intercellular spaces, or these type of tissues are present in the form of cavities or ducts. Here we can talk about latticifers. Latticifers is a type of tissue which secretes a substance called as latex, which is not necessary for the plant, and these are secreting the unnecessary material in the form of latex, it is called as a cell. Laticifers can also be considered as the one of the secretory tissues. Now, so on the basis of the variation in the occurrence, the secretory tissue may be either external secretory tissue or internal secretory tissue. Either the tissue may be occurring in the form of some glandular tissues are there, glandular hairs are there, oil glands are there, resin ducts are there, or it may be occurring in some intercellular spaces in the form of small cavities or ducts. Or in case of laticifers is a type of secretory tissue which will secrete a type of substance called as latex, which is not essential to the plant body. So these are different variations seen in the special tissue. Now, the structure of secretory tissue shows the variation in the structure on the basis of the type of elimination of the substances is occurring in the tissue. Like for example, what type of substance is being eliminated or excreted from the tissue may also show the variation in the structure of the secretory tissue. For example, what type of secretion is excretion or elimination is occurring from the cellular parts or storage tissue and cellular parts. What type of secretion is done? It is based on that. The excretory substances are basically excreted in the form of resins, or in the form of oils, or in the form of some balsam oils. Now here, in case these are considered as the true excretory substances which are excreted from the secretory tissue. In addition to that, there are some modified structures which are present here. Those are called as idioblasts. Now what are idioblasts we will tell later. In many cells, the production of some cells in some plants like cycas, the production of certain substances occur continuously, and these will lead to the formation of some specialized structures what are called. Now on the basis of the excretion products, the special type of tissues are of different types, of which one is called as idioblasts. First we will go with the idioblast. What is idioblast? Then we will go with the different types of classification of the secretory tissue. Secretory tissues are specially modified parenchyma cells which are present in the cortex and the medulla. These type of tissues secrete the substances in the form of resins, gums, tannins, and some resins, gums, essential oils are there in the form of oils, and these type of cells which excrete these type of elements, and these type of cells which are excreting these oils or excretory products, and if they are occurring in the form of a single cell, the occurrence of this type of parenchyma cells which are occurring in the cortex and medulla, which secrete substances like resins, gums, tannins, oils, and or some essential oils, and if this type of tissues are occurring in a single row, then that is called as a secretory tissue which is secreting all the other elements and occurring in the form of a single row, in the form of single cells, and these are very thin, then these are called as idioblasts. And if these canals, they are in the form of, if these idioblasts are occurring in the form of canals, in the structure of canals, then those are called as laticifers. If this type of secretory tissue, if they are occurring in the form of single cell, then those are idioblasts, and this, if they are occurring in the form of canals, then these are called as laticifers. Now, basing on now we come to the substances classification of secretory tissue. What is the classification of secretory tissue? The tissues which secrete resins, gums, essential oils, all those substances are called as secretory tissue. On the basis of secretion, secretory tissue is of two types. First one is laticifers and another one is glandular tissue. Okay. On the basis of the product secreted, the secretory tissue is of two types, laticifers and glandular tissue. Now first we will deal with the laticifers.